everybody, this is the Alex Manassa. I'm thinking out loud again on Tuesday. What is it, September 30th? Sure is. It's the day after the presidential debate, so I think we're all pretty trashed. About as trashed as Biden and Trump were last night. What a shit show. Alright, today I wanted to talk about when is an argument worth it? Sorry, I have like a little list I keep going of all the different topics that I'd like to talk about. Pretty much OneNote is like the replacement for the napkin I used to just write ideas on, right? All right, so when is an argument worth it? Okay, this is important because if you're going to invest any of your time into having a discussion with someone, I hope that you're doing it because you are trying to prove a point. You're trying to prove a point to the other person, to yourself, as in you're using this argument as a tool of exploring the subject. I hope that you're using it for something that enriches you and those around you. Now, if you're going to try and have an argument and there is no point to it, you're not enriching anyone, then why even bother having it? All right? And also, you shouldn't gain fulfillment from tearing someone else down. We all do it. We all do it, by the way. We're all jerks. That is 100% the case. Every one of us has jerk tendencies. That's why we have to consciously be nice to people. You know, if we were nice by default, then we wouldn't need to constantly remind ourselves to be nice. Right? When I see a sign in someone's house that says "Live, Laugh, Love," I was like, my criticism is you really need to be reminded to do all that stuff. I was like, man, I was gonna just yell at my child today, but then I said I saw the love in the "Live, Laugh, and Love," and I decided to love them and laugh with them, not at them. And I also decided to let them live. I don't understand the whole live, laugh, love thing. All right, so arguments. When is it worth it? I can tell you when it's not worth it. Let's talk about that. If you are getting something out of it by proving the other person wrong, which is 90% of the time when we have an argument, it's just to try and prove the other person wrong. Let's admit it. You got to look for a new place to get your fulfillment from. All right, that's a sad, shallow existence. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's a lot of things you can derive pleasure from in this life that will drain you. And that is number one, arguing with people, trying to prove them wrong and just win the argument. That's definitely something you should just cut out of your life. It's making you a worse person. You're less bearable to be with. I guarantee it. You'll be much better for it. Think of how much better you would be if you were more like, you know, Mr. Rogers, or just someone you know who's just a pure, good-hearted person, never wants to fight with anybody, only really ever engages in that kind of thing if they're trying to find some sort of unity, some common ground, or explore an idea with true curiosity. Another time when not to argue is when someone else is doing that to you. They're trying to make you lose. By the way, and these people attract each other. So if you're finding that you're attracting a lot of people that want to prove you wrong and make you lose, that means you're probably doing it. That's a really good hint. Now, I focus on blaming you, the person there sitting there, not because I don't like you, because I do. It's because you are the only person that you have any power in this world over. Really. Everyone else can rebel against you. They can ignore you. They can fight you. They might never even hear from you. But you have complete control over you. As much control as anyone could possibly have. You have control over yourself. You can only change your own actions to create a better benefit for society and a better life for yourself. If someone is arguing in bad faith, that is what is bad faith? It means that there basically means that they're trying to win. And there's like signs for it. You're probably arguing with someone who's just not worth the time. You might actually be engaged in a genuinely intellectual, enriching conversation, and someone else is doing the bad thing, right? It happens. Bad things and bad people happen to good people sometimes. You might be the good person in that case, right? If they're arguing in bad faith, as in they're trying to just win, and they don't want to address any of your points, right? I've had this happen a couple days ago, where I'm having an argument, and you know, it doesn't matter what the argument's about. I would make a point, and then they would just act like I never even made that point and just talk about something else. Like, they'll say, yeah, but what about this? I was like, this is a bad discussion. This is not worth my time. Like, we're not exploring any of the stuff I said. This person's not saying that I'm wrong. What they're trying to do is they're just trying to score points on the board by bringing up more stuff. We're not exploring anything. We're not asking about this, that, or the other. I mean, at the very least, you say, yeah, let's say I make a really good point, right? And the other person, at the very least, could say, yes, well, that may be true, but I'm more concerned about that. And now the discussion is about priorities, because is the thing that I just brought up less of a priority than the thing they're bringing up? We can have a quick discussion on that. It's like, listen, I think pickles belong on hamburgers. And this person says, yes, I might agree with that. I might disagree with that. But regardless, this other point of we should probably use real corn-fed beef is much more important. We can have a discussion about that. It's like, oh yeah, probably the quality of the beef is the thing I should be focusing on. Or maybe like, I'm a real pickle guy. Listen, I'm a real stickler for pickles, okay? I need the pickles. And then we have an argument about what's more important, beef versus pickles, which is not an argument you're going to win. Beef 100% of the time. You can have a hamburger without pickles. You can't have a hamburger without beef. As you make these discussions, you're supposed to be striving for common ground, at least in terms of priorities, or at least eventually get to the point where you are stating what your priority is, right? My priority is, like, let's take an argument that'll never end, like pro-life versus pro-choice. There's a reason why politicians bring it up, because it's divisive and it's unending, because it comes from the root of what do you think is justice or good in this world, right? Do you think a life is worth something before it's born or not? How much development is required before you think it's worth something, right? And it becomes this very divisive thing because it's based purely on perspective and value systems. There's no scientific data to tell you how much a life is worth, right? I could tell you that a life can cost this much, that there's this much, amount of materials in a human body that if you were to like collect it and refine a human being, you'd have that much. You could say this person contributes so much to the GDP, but what is a life worth is a non-tangible, right? So the idea of an argument is boil things down to the non-tangibles and then understand the other person's position if you were to hold that same non-tangible, right? That's where you start questioning their value system and applying it, right? And making sure they're at least applying their value system correctly. So I'm the pickle guy. I'm arguing that pickles are very, very important. And it turns out that I'm kind of a vegetarian. That's a different value system than if someone who eats a lot of meat, okay? So at least the meat person might say at that point, okay, vegetarian guy who is got a lot of concerns about hamburgers for some reason, you don't want to, you're de-emphasizing the meat. At least could you pick something better than pickles? Like tomatoes, lettuce, onions. Why pickles? And then as the pickle guy, I'm now reevaluating. Like, yeah, actually my value system for a vegetarian hamburger is kind of actually, it doesn't go against me considering these other things more important. I've reached some common ground. Now we're talking my language, the non-meat eating language or something right now. By the way, I do eat a lot of meat, okay? So don't think I don't like a good burger. The idea of an argument is you clash, you common, then you role play as the other person to reevaluate their position, right? Let's say that you're going to talk about anti-colonialism or something and who is a hero, right? That's a classic argument from classical literature of what is a hero. You would have to, you're going to run into different value systems of what is a hero, right? But then once you've understood how to occupy that skin, you would apply that value system to the hero and question, hey, is that person really a hero by your own standards? Don't they violate this or the other thing, right? Like, let's take Batman. Batman's a good hero. He's got a no-killing policy, right? He considers it a human life to be important. Like, wouldn't he have taken out the Joker, like, way long ago? I would argue. That'd be my argument. I was like, if he cares about life, why is he letting this guy just murder tons of people? At some point, if you have the opportunity to stop somebody, maybe you should just stop them. Like, if I saw a bus careening, like, slowly rolling off of a cliff, and there's just, Hans Moleman is behind the wheel, I could easily just take Hans Moleman out. Right? And would I not be complicit if I didn't do it? Like, do you have a moral obligation to act if you are in a position, awareness, and capability to act? Right? So now we're actually having a discussion. So I'm arguing with somebody about how I think Batman actually sucks, which I don't. Batman's awesome, my favorite. But you gotta admit, You're kind of dropping the ball with the Joker, all right? You're getting so many people killed. You killed so many people. Even in the cartoon, Joker's just killing people left and right with funny gas. You start to have these good discussions. Now, if someone's not willing to meet common ground with you, if they're not willing to jump into your skin for a bit and apply your value system, they are not arguing in good faith. They are 100% in their own head. They're a prison. This mind can be a vehicle and it can be a prison. They're in a prison, okay? They're not worth talking to, honestly. We don't have to convert them. Don't engage with them, okay? Because chances are the people that they look up to are someone that you could engage with. People tend to look up to intellectuals. People tend to look up to vanguards, the intellectual vanguards, right? And these people who are intellectual vanguards, they are creative and they are analytical. And that's why people listen to them, right? Go engage with the upper level. Basically, the intellectual equivalent of, can I speak to the manager? That's what you have to do. Don't argue with the cashier, or the fry cook. Go to the manager. You're too busy, arguing with idiots. It's just not worth it. It's not. Your time is worth more, right? Trust me. Go do something productive. Have a good productive discussion with a real intellectual that's willing to meet you halfway, right? All right. So, a little bit of advice. Hope that helps. There's gonna be a lot of arguing in the next month or two, so I hope you put it to good use. Don't worry, your time is worth way more than whoever. Your time is so much more important than whoever is president right now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, in the grand scheme of things. Things are gonna, the wind blows this way, the wind blows that way. You still need to stand strong. All right, this has been the Alex Manassa. I can't wait to see you guys next time. I'm still working on a machete. Videos of that are coming out. I found a whole treasure trove of videos I shot and I just never posted. Turns out I'm just being negligent. Sorry about that. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Oh, smash the like button and subscribe if you want to see more. Hope to see you guys later. Bye.